Howdy guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel, man. Great to be back, guys, on another map making video. always so nice to be busy with map making and stuff. One of my favorite things to do as a hobby, you know. Anyways, guys, a warm welcome to you. If this is your first time on the channel, do consider subscribing and liking and doing all those nice things. Whatever is good for you, do that, please. All right. Excellent. So in today's video, guys, we're going to have a look at a sawmill. How to add a sawmill to your map. Now, what I'm going to show you today is how to use an old building, or any building for that matter, and then just add the sawmill triggers to it, you know. So either you can use one of the in-game sawmills, which there are, I think, about 3 to choose from, or you can use any custom building that you like, you know, to put in, and then just add the triggers. So that's basically how it works in all the placeables of Farming Simulator. Is you use the buildings, which are just buildings, and you add the triggers, which are the actual thing that is actually the sawmill, you know, it's the triggers. So yeah, let's get stuck in with that. Great, man. First of all, I just want to close my Discord, because otherwise we're going to have a lot of stuff happening. There you go, just exit that. And I don't like this beep beep in the background all the time. Great, so let's get stuck in. So what's happened is a friend of mine asked me to put the sawmill in for him on the map, because he is struggling with the triggers and all of that to place it. And I thought it will be a handy time to make a video and show everyone how to do that. I have done it in the past. I think in my previous, in the map making course, it's definitely in there, because we did do a sawmill there. And then also, obviously, in my previous FS19 video series of map making, I did the sawmill as well. But anyway, today is a different day, and we're going to get stuck in doing that. So this is his map, and this is the sawmill on the map, which is just a prop. There's no triggers. You will see or note, however, there is a place for wood chips, which is very nice, all nicely prepared, and also a place for the wood timber, you know, to come in. And I saw here at the entrance is also a thing for timber, some sort of a load-off point, but this is a very cramped entrance, so I'm not going to put the trigger there. I'm going to put it in there so that you probably can come in, like the little arrow suggests, with your truck, go in there, make a U-turn or whatever, and offload, you know. So I suppose that's how it's going to work. Normally sawmills, your trucks that you load, it's either with these interlinked trucks or single trucks with a little bit of 6 or 9 meter logs on, which you can maneuver easily, you know. But anyway, let's get stuck in with that. Great. So first of all, I want to just find this building, or let me rather find these placeholders transform by typing it in here in the nice thing here, placeholders. There you go, placeholders, transform, select it, close the search, and then it will take us there. Oh, so it's nice and neat at the very bottom of his map outline. I normally put my placeholders in the gameplay, but it doesn't really matter where it is, as long as we know where it is. Good. All right. So I want to just quickly browse through what is in here. There's a lot of stuff in here, okay, but no sawmill. Good. All right, so first things first is we're going to do a custom sawmill. So what I normally do is import one of the sawmills. Somewhere I'll use the map US one. So we're going to go File, Import, and then go to Farming Simulator 22, which is the game installation directory, Data. And then right down to Placeables, Map US, and then we find the sawmill and sawmill triggers. There it is. That's how easy it is, guys. It's not really that difficult, but yeah, it can be difficult if you're not used to the whole process of how to put stuff in. But this is only the start of it. There's obviously a lot of XML work that goes along with it, you know. Great. So that's the sawmill there. It's at 0 at the moment, so we won't see it. But the moment I drop it in here, Control B for Bravo, and drop it in the center of our area here, we're going to find out that there's a lot of stuff in here. Like if I zoom out a little bit, you can see there's the this is the heap for the what do you call it, the wood chips, I believe. And then we've got the pallets, and then also the wood offload trigger. So that's the basic three things that we need to have a look at in the sawmill. So what I do normally, just to have everything here, is just grab it like that, align it a little bit, sort of close enough, you know, and then find our triggers. So first of all, pallet spawner, we not worry about that now. Let's go to the selling station now, which is the wood cell trigger. And then it's basically, the only thing is just to move it into place. Now I see this wood cell trigger has some warning stripes already connected to it. So we're going to have to delete the game's warning stripes that's in there. I'm going to leave it just like that. You can go Control B once again just to make sure that you have it on the ground. But if you don't see the bottom stripe, then you know it is basically on the ground. So then all is fine. What I mean by bottom stripe is there's a top stripe here on the box trigger. So if I lift this now, you'll see the bottoms come up. So you can sort of do this and just make sure all four your little square corner things is visible. All right, good. So that sort of looks all right to me. Maybe it's a bit skew. Don't think it might be not well aligned. It is 0, 0, 0 for rotate, so it is actually aligned with the map, but this trigger markers of his is a bit skew. That's what the problem is. So you can now go and select these trigger markers, which I suppose will be in gameplay. Trigger markers, that's normally where they are. If I select trigger markers, yep, they'll be there. There will be a lot in here. Animal load triggers. No, that warning stripes vehicles. Could it be that? Yeah, it is the first one. So okay, so if he's used all the warning stripe vehicles, which is not a problem, doesn't really matter. Great. So that there is our first trigger all done. So I just want to close this again. Go down to new things. Where is we were right at the bottom, placeholders. That's the one there, and then right at the bottom. So our selling station is done. The production point. Now what the production point is where you actually buy the thing. So the player trigger and the teleport node. So teleport node is important. You don't want your teleport node is when you go into your PDA and you click visit, it will teleport you to the Sawmill. So that's very important. And in this here, for the player trigger production point, mind you, I think this might be for the pallet spawner. Is it? No, it's not for the pallet spawner. Now this is the production point. Let me just check. Yeah. All right. So this is definitely the trigger for buying the Sawmill. You know, if you want to buy the Sawmill. So I'm going to put this down there somewhere, which is fine. Can stay right there. And then lastly, the pallet spawner, let's get that into place. I was thinking you can get in here with the forklift if you ever need to get pallets. So I'll put the pallet spawn there. So when you buy the Sawmill, it's going to start putting your, when the Sawmill is your property, it's going to start producing planks for you when you load wood into the sell point. So you don't sell your wood anymore. The Sawmill produces planks for you, you know, so there it is. If you want to know how to make the spawn bigger, I've done a video on that for the spawn point, how to make the spawn points bigger. So there's a whole video on that. So just take a browse at that and go for it. I did a video the other day, not too shabby, not too long ago. Anyway, how to make the spawn points bigger. All right, so now next thing, just want to see if that warning stripes is nice and highlighted. Yes, you can see them, so that is good. Mind you, let me just do a Control B on that, because you never know with these things if they are actually nicely high above the ground, because sometimes they hang in the air, you know, so just make sure of that. It's sometimes annoying when that happens. And then the loading station, there it is. That is now for our wood pile. So I think there might be a wood pile involved. Wood chips fence, there it is. If we have a look at that, wood chips hill. To be honest, guys, I've had this problem with my giants for a while. I don't see the wood chip hill in the editor, but it actually is there in game, you know. So what I want to do now is get rid of the fence and the hill. I'm just not too sure if that is going to be oh, there it is. Sorry, it's actually underground. I was talking trash, but I remember there was a problem with mine. I couldn't see it, you know. So what I want to do now, wood chip fence and hill, and the load trigger is there. Loading station. Let me bring this closer and put it into alignment with where we want to actually have this sort of working in the map here. Something of the kind. What's my interest is that pillar. This one here, that's the trigger for loading. So I want to align this pillar with what I want to have. So I'm going to put it something like that and then push it back there. And I'm going to just take this wood chip fence and hill and put it under the map, just like that. So it's away out of sight, and it's still going to be working because my trigger is there. The trigger marker will be that little icon. I didn't move that up and down, so that should be fine. And the AI node is still there, so everything is fine for AI. I can leave that as is, not going to bother with anything there. And that is all the triggers that we need for that. Let me just have a look at the collisions, what the collisions was all about. Tip collision, make it visible. Okay, so that was for the pallets. Better move that in as well, just to be sure. Just bring it up. It's just so that nobody tips stuff here where the pallets need to spawn, you know, so that collision will keep the tipping away, you know, so we can make that invisible again. Update areas. Might as well do this as well. This is your tip collision update area. Just bring this in here and I'll put it in there like so. And the end node there, so that nobody tips stuff there. Alright, so that is the Sawmill info trigger. Okay, so info trigger is that little icon for the Sawmill. So where it will show you the little icon, the little exclamation mark thing of the Sawmill, you know, so that is basically it there. I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, you know what? No, I will have to bring that info trigger here by the cell point, in the center of the cell point. I think that's where your info trigger goes, right there. Marker icon. So if we now open the XML for that, so this is where the stuff is getting a little bit thing. But first of all, let's just grab the name here, copy it, Control C, and then we're going to go File, Export with Files. Okay, and we're going to go into this map, which is Chellington Valley, and then Maps. I just want to see where's these placeables. Placeables, there it is. And I'm going to go here, create a new folder for it, and I'm going to call it Sawmill. Same name as that. I could have actually just pasted it. Control V, paste it there. So the i3D will be Sawmill in the Sawmill folder, obviously, that we've just created. So we save it. So this now, and when the question comes, you say yes to both because you want to keep all the directories and stuff from in-game. So though we've done a custom and we save that custom i3D now, so it becomes a mapped, a sort of i3D in your map that is called by the XML. So now we're going to do the XML for this. Now to get the XML, obviously, we need to go into the Farming Simulator directory again, data, placeables, map US, Sawmill, and there's the XML. So we copy that this time manually, so we have to take this to our map, and I'm going to drop it in the same folder, placeables, Sawmill. So they're all together there as well. You can have it in any directory, it doesn't matter, as long as you point the i3D now to that. So how it works, guys, what I want to do, let me have a look here. I'm going to bring this screen over here. This is the placeables.xml for his map, Chellington Valley. He's converting this map from FS19 It's for private use, you know, so it doesn't matter. He's just done it for himself or for whatever he wants to do with it. So it's not my business. I'm just helping along and making a nice video in this process, you know. So here it is. This is his placeables XML. So what we want to do is grab a placeable, any placeable that says placeable and file name, and we duplicate that. Control C, Control V into a new line like that, and I'm going to give myself a bit of space like that, and then change the directory now to the correct directory. So what we want to do is go back to our folder system here from there. So we click here on top because we want to get to this XML. So we want to tell the placeables where the XML is to call. All right, so it's going to be a custom one. So from the map directory, which is Chellington Valley, so we're going to click there and drag and select that whole directory tree. So we're going to Control C to copy it back into our XML and take this whole directory from there to the last slash, because we're going to keep that slash, and then we're going to put the XML in there and then paste. And then, very important, guys, over the past few weeks, I've seen a lot of guys forget the backslashes. You cannot have backslashes, not in your map i3D, not in your XMLs. Nowhere in the game you can have backslashes, because it will cause errors and problems, and stuff is not found, and all kinds of weird things happening. All right, and now we just need to take that name of the sawmill, which is this one here. I click once again with about a half-second break in between the clicks, and it will give you that. So you just go Control C to copy, go back in here, double click the name, Control V for Victor, and there you go. No worries. Sawmill XML. Actually, the in-game Sawmill has a capital M, so I don't know why I saved. This is actually the in-game one. Yeah, all right. So the i3D has got a capital, and the XML, normally they don't do this. They normally have saw and then mill, you know, like that. But anyway, it's this is just how this one is. All right, so that now is our placeable done, and now we need to give this thing. Remember, the map there always needs to be there. If you're working from your map directory, it's maps, map alpine, and this map directory is actually your map name. So your map name is what map there means. The map directory is what's your map's name. So you open your map and then you find the directories after that up to the XML. Okay, so the next thing is the place, the positioning. All right, so click on the sawmill, the main transform, because this is where the XML is going to place this i3D, and that's the i3D that we exported. Because this is now not an in-game one anymore. Remember, we imported it from the in-game, and then we exported this sawmill out into our map folder as its own i3D, so a new custom one. All right, so that is why now we're going to take this sawmill, which is actually not the one being loaded. Remember, the one here in the directory is being loaded, this one. All right, so this one in the map at the moment is in the placeholders folder, which is just a placeholder for the actual one. So the actual one is the one here in the map. This is the custom one that we've saved. All right, so this one here is just here to give us positioning data. All right, so select the sawmill. Remember, this one now and the one in the map is identical, because we exported this one, and this is the one we want. So we want this positioning data. So I'm going to click on the first one, X, and go Control Shift and C for copy, and then it will copy all three for us. Then down here into the XML again, and just highlight this whole line. Don't highlight the little punctuation marks, just the data that we want. And then rotation, very important. Rotation, Control Shift and C, same thing. Back in here, overwrite the 3 zeros to Control and V this time. Just Control and V, not Control Shift, because you just want to do a normal paste. And there it is, default form property. We're going to leave it as false. I don't know if this is actually part of the form. I doubt it's part of the form. I'm going to leave it false. That's good. And then form ID 1. Normally for a sawmill you will not put the form ID. But in this case, I'm just going to make it form ID 0. Like that. Alright. And we'll test it afterwards and see if it works. Alright. The default form property false. Form ID 0. Just to make it sort of working on its own, you know, not as part of the farm. All right, so leave it there, save it. And now the next one we want to do is the store items. Store items, very important. I always tell the guys, don't use the store items.xml. It causes problems, guys. Believe me, it causes problems. Yeah, let's do the store items next. So what I normally do is I open the mod desk and put the store items section in the mod desk. You see, this guy's already got one because he's listened to my good advice. So all we do is grab one of them, Control C, and double click, double V, and it will paste for us a extra one. So we're going to take that one, go back to our placeables, grab everything after. And this time we copy everything, the whole line, but not the map there. We don't need the map there. So Control C, back into the mod desk, and we grab this piece here, Control and V for Victor, and there it is. The sawmill is called. All right. So what this does now, the store items puts this sawmill in your store, so you can actually buy and place it. But if there is no line for the store items, if you don't put this in, you'll get an error and your sawmill will not load, or your placeable will not load. So you need to have the store data. I'm going to show you now why this is there. So what you can do now is, the next thing to do, go back here to our placeables. Where is my placeables? Maps, Alpine, placeables, sawmill. Sawmill, there it is. So we open this XML. Here's the store data. You see? So now you've got the show in store. So if you don't have show in store, copy it from another XML, paste it in here. So if it's false, it means it won't be available in store. All right? And if you say true there, it will actually show this placeable or this XML, whatever it's in there, it will show it in store. All right. Now, first of all, the image, there's no image there. You can name your station. You can call this thing anything you want. I just want to go in the game here and see if there is a name on this. Woodsure, certified by Hitters. All right, Woodsure Plus. Is this the sawmill's name? Wow, look at that big rainbow. Okay, I don't see any other names. So it will be Woodsure. So I'm going to just call the sawmill Woodsure. So this is the place where you name your sawmill. So you can just type in here Woodsure and remember to remove that dollar L10N sting. Just put the name in there, and you can put spaces here. That's the only place in the whole game where you can put spaces in a name, guys, is there. And as well as in your mod desk, if you name your map or whatever, you can have spaces in there. But for the rest of anything, mark names and folders and whatever, you'll see they all have underscores. So that's very important tip there. No image for it. You can make an image and put a directory in for the image. Another thing I want to show you is, if you do a sawmill or something that is at farm ID 0, which is not part of your default stuff, do add it a line for to buy with farmland. All right, so what we're going to do is go back into placeables, I think. Yeah, you go into map US and then farm buildings, and there's one thing called the farm shed, I think, if I'm correct. Open the farm shed, and there it is, bought with farmland. So select that line, copy it, drop it in your sawmill under the base name of the sawmill, paste it in there. That is true. There's actually another thing, can be sold true. Very important to have that in as well, and it must be true if you want it to be sold, you know. So that type of things, it's important to have in your XML. Great. So now the next thing, let me have a look. Oh yeah, we mustn't forget the actual R3D. This is now still calling. So this XML that we've put in here in the placeable, yeah, this XML, which is the one we're working on currently, there it is. So this XML still calls the in-game sawmill. So we need to tell it, no, wait a second, we want our own custom R3D to be loading. So that is now why we take the same line from our placeables and just grab this whole directory up to sawmill, like there, Control C, this is the XML, so you can't copy that. So going in there, and we take this whole line in front up to the last /, Control V, put it in there. We can't have two. And now we just grab the name of our Sawmill, which is that one there. One click and another click, Control C, and then back into our XML here, and then double click there, Control V, and there it is, guys. All done. This is all you need to do, and now the Sawmill should work in game. Lastly, remember now the last thing to do before you go and test it in game. Just make sure this is in the placeholders. That's very important, and that this placeholders has got the script running. There it is, placeholders that on create. It's a script that runs. It's a callback script. So what happens is whatever you put in this folder, because this script is there, it's not a normal transform group. It's a transform group that ignores everything in it because of this on create script that's running. So whatever you put in here will be visible in the, what is going on in the back? Oh, it's just all the other placeables. Just want to have a look. Oh, I'm just at the wrong angle looking at stuff. All right. So anyway, whatever you put in this folder or this transform group will not be in game. It is just for in the R3D here to be visible. So once you're done with your whole map, you come and you delete this whole folder and everything in it, and it will make your R3D a lot smaller, and then you don't have to worry about size and all that kind of stuff. All right, so for now, we're just going to save the map and wait for it to save, and just make sure all our XMLs is saved. That is also very important. Map Sawmill. Last thing I forgot to tell you, because we exported this, it had the directories of that, not the directory, but the positioning data. We need to go and zero the positioning data, because otherwise our Sawmill is not going to end up here. All right, so we can close this up, open our map folder once again, and open this Sawmill that we exported. So this is the actual custom Sawmill. We open that all on its own and find it. You see, if you click on it, there it is now. It's still at this position. And the XML has already got that position in it. If we go to our placeables, there's the positioning data. So you can't have this positioning data and this positioning data, because otherwise it will be totally in a different spot. So we need to zero all of this. Now I saw a lot of guys jippo here. What they do is they leave this positioning data, and then they use the placeable to put 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 0 and all of that. They think it's all fine. But now what happens with a lot of XMLs is they call this Sawmill probably not, but some of them have, let me just see if this one has got some stuff. Production, no, this one doesn't have any extra RCDs it's calling. So if you zero that there, it will not load your extra stuff at the right spot. So that is something to consider. Don't put your placeable, put your positioning data here, and it will load everything perfect as it should be. All right, so this is all fine. We can save this and close it up and go and test it in game and see how it is going. So now my Steam is not there. Where's my Steam, guys? I don't know where my Steam has gone to. You know what? When I started my PC, I by accident closed this little pop-up screen, because sometimes it's annoying when you start your PC and then this thing pops up, it's in the way and it stays there. And yeah, it just sort of messes around, you know, before you know it, it's in your way, and then you want to click something and it's there. That type of stuff, you know. So let's get that out of the way and go and test our Sawmill and see if it's there in game. It should have all its icons and whatever. We can test it with dropping a bit of wood on it and see if it works, that type of stuff, you know. Great, I just want to close this a little bit. So there, Chellington Valley. I'm just going to put my dev controls on, so we can obviously have a bit of flight mode and all those nice things, you know. What I normally do is I drop the tilde key, and then it pops up your log. So while the map is loading, I can have a look at my log. I don't know if this map is error free, but it's always good when you've made changes to a map to check your log and see if something doesn't pop up with the thing that you worked on, you know. So that normally is a good tell that something is the matter, you know. If there's a problem, it will pop up there. And do look at the errors. They're normally in yellow and red. Errors are red and warnings are yellow, so they are both like that one there. Could not be found. Audio sounds could not be found. And you see there's a lot of errors in this map still. Probably needs to be sorted. I'm honestly not going to go through them. I'm just going to test and see if the Sawmill loads. So that's what's important for me at this stage. Oh my word, there is a lot of errors. So not my problem, but I'm going to have a browse where that Sawmill is. I know it was sort of on the side. Sure, there it is. So let's go visit it. You see, this is what I was saying on that little transporter icon thing, teleport. You click here, space visit, and it drops you there where you've put that. And this is the buy icon. Remember I told you the buy trigger. So if you press R here, you can now have a look what it's doing. Deactivate, visit, or whatever. Was this not the buying? I'm sure it was the buying. Or was it this one now? Sell wood. Oh no, yes, that was for the sell wood, and this is the little icon. That's the little icon I was saying. It needs to be in the center, and this is the one that where you sell your wood. And this car has got no wheels. I think, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but still probably stuff that he needs to sort. But everything looks in place. Look at that. That's a sell point for the wood chips. Our other little wood chips heap is underground, so that's all tucked away, nice out of view. All right, okay, so what I wanted to see now is it looks like this thing is already it's already owned because of. I wonder if the farmland is ours. Let me just have a look, because we have bought with farmland, so let's have a look. Oh yeah, you see, we own the farmland already. Okay, so we might as well have put their farm ID 1, because farm ID 1 is normally your default, and then default property true, and then you didn't need to put bought with farmland, you know. But if you put on your map, on if your sawmill is not part of your owned property, say you put it somewhere on another spot that is not on your default, all the blue is your default property, by the way, it's that property you own. If it's on a spot where it's not your property, then everything I've put in you would like to put in, you know, so that is still good, it's still working. So all we need to do now for testing is see if it actually produces us some planks. So what we can do is press F12, go here, not there, this one, and then drop. I'm going to make it 6-meter planks or wood poles or sticks or whatever you call them, and then let's just sell them. Press R. Okay, so now in this case it's not sold, it's put into your production. So if we now run up here, because we own the sawmill now, so I'll go in here, press R, and you'll see there I've got wood, and it's going to start producing planks there, 5-liter planks already. So let's just forward the time a little bit so we can sort of check it out. There it is. So it's busy and it's working. That tells me the sawmill is working. And if I hit my tilde key once again, go the page down to the very bottom. If anything on the sawmill wasn't working and I've been on a trigger, it will pop up. So it tells me that my sawmill is fine. There shouldn't be any problem, and I should start seeing my wood pellets, planks. There's my planks. This is the spawning spot for the planks. So it will spawn the little plank pellets there, and I can come and upload these and sell them. Great, so that tells me everything is working fine. And I can still put my wood chips in there. Great. Well guys, that is basically how you put a sawmill into your map and how you get it to work and everything is happy. Great. I hope it's been insightful. I hope it's been fun. For me it was fun. And if you do like the content, please do share with guys that do mapping, and do consider jumping onto my Patreon. Bless me there with whatever is in your heart, you know, if you feel like it. My Patreon is there for guys that appreciate my work and want to support me. I do appreciate you guys very much. soon, and very soon, as soon as I'm finished with Moz, I'm going to focus on the Patreons a little bit more again and do some nice content for you guys again. Great, man. Well, I mean, everything is for everyone, so we all work for the good, of making the game awesome. Great, man, guys. Have an awesome, fantastic week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.